Alright guys, there's a lot of people spewing out a lot of different messages and a lot of different facts on social media, and many of them aren't true, many of them are myths, many of them are not true, okay? And many of them make people feel very bad about themselves and make them feel horrible, right? So in general, remember that you have to really believe in what's going to make you get further. Some people believe in education because they think education is the way to go. I'm all for that. I think education is very, very good. Even though a lot of people say they wish they made more money, they wish they didn't get an education because education put them in debt. Education made them not able to get a career right away because they could have been a famous person, and they could have, instead of having college, they could have, or university, they could have had a successful life as an entrepreneur or a successful life as a celebrity earlier on. Personally, for me, education is the way to go. I believe in it because even though I'm 45 and I'm going to be famous roughly around now, but very, very famous soon, I would rather have had the education and the learning I had through all those experiences. I wouldn't have wanted to be famous at 21 or 22 and having the knowledge that I have at that point. I would rather be famous now with the knowledge I have now, because I think it's very important to have well-rounded knowledge and to be experienced and know what you're talking about and be educated. I think education is not for everyone. Not everyone likes education because maybe they're not good at it. But if you're good at it, by all means, I think it's the best way to go. Now, obviously, some people might want to take the route where they want to be famous first and get education, but that's harder too because if you're paying, but I mean, you have the money, so then you can go anytime. Some people might want to do that route because if they have that route, they're going to have money, so then they can afford it better. Nobody wants to be in debt. But if you know you can be a celebrity, now with TikTok and YouTube, you can be a self-made star in no time. Some people do it in like 6 months, right? So if you want education, I really recommend it because being smarter in an academic sense is really good. Now, obviously, having street smarts and all that is very good too, but being academic is very important, right? Very, very important, right? It teaches you a lot. I mean, for me, I have so many titles that I title all my videos. I have 57,000 videos on YouTube, Marco DC, and about 825 videos on TikTok, Marco DC, or YouTube, Marco DC too. And then I have about 50,000 videos on TikTok, Marco DC Millionaire, Marco DC. So I've got lots of videos, right? But I wouldn't be able to come up with all the things that I come up with without the education I learned. And some people do things where they don't need that much education. Maybe they just have, like they're an entrepreneur and they felt that, without college they would have done just fine. And that's fine and dandy, but I think college and university give you like an experience that unlike no other. I really believe that, right? Not everyone agrees, like I said. Not everyone thinks it's good. Not everyone cares about education. Not everyone is good at education. I'd rather see someone that's decent at education, that enjoys it, doing education, than someone that really sucks at it, that stresses out so badly, that forces themselves because they think they have to do education, right? I really think, if it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. But there are more options nowadays of making money, but still, I think it's important to be educated. I also think that being on social media can be hard. You hear all these messages, you see all these messages, you see all these things, you see all these talk about anxiety and mental health, right? And really, in general, not everybody really wants to focus on mental health or those issues, right? They want to focus on more positive. Now, a lot of people have mental health issues, so it's important that if you do have mental health issues, you watch those videos. But in general, you want to have a handle on your life to the point where you can handle things without worrying about social media, without feeling like social media is causing you to get into a downward spiral, right? You really want people to force you to recognize, not force you, but you really want people to help you recognize the positive things about social media, but also steer clear of the negative things, right? Now, a lot of talk about mental health is good, but then some of it can be bad because you don't want to be inundated with mental health talk, and some people don't know what they're talking about, right? Anyway, obviously, social media is enjoyable. I think you should be producing videos on social media, making videos on social media. That's my take on it. Better to be on there, at least then you have a chance to be successful. But it's not for everyone. If you don't feel comfortable or you don't want people to make fun of you or say something about you, I mean, you're going to get that even if you're good. But if you don't like that, if you don't like negative comments, it's not the place for you, because everyone gets negative comments, right? And if you don't want to be famous, some people don't like their privacy taken away, whatever, then it's not for you, right? But if you don't mind those things, or you like those things, whatever, then, or you think fame is worth it, go ahead, right? And if you're good enough, you're good enough, right? Remember that it's not for everyone. Not everyone can do social media. So if you are one of the ones that has a hard time, it's not for everyone. Not everyone is capable of getting a lot of views. But if you are one of those people that can, good for you, right? And I would definitely try it, right? But it's up to you, right? Not everyone wants to be on social media. Not everyone cares, right? But anyway, I really think, in general, if you are someone that see social media as a bad thing, then steer clear, right? But anyway, I don't think, I think social media, like, it's a great thing, it's a fun thing, especially if you're creating, you can be very, 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 very successful, but there's a lot of downsides to it in terms of like the negative criticisms or the negative comments that people get. But in general, they're worth it if you're going to be famous, because you just ignore them, right? And you comment positive things to people that you know, whatever, right? I mean, obviously, when you're making friends, you're only going to be positive, right? You're not going to be negative, right? So why would you be negative to your friends, right? So if you're going to be on social media, just ignore the negative, because those people usually maybe tried to be famous and they didn't make it. Like I said, social media can be a great, 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 great thing if you're using it in terms of getting famous, and if you're also using it in terms of establishing friendships and partners to date, and in a safe way, as long as you're not using it to get in a downward spiral and feel, oh my God, these people are so negative and rude. You don't want to be tangled up in that, right? Because everyone gets that negativity and rudeness, right? Thank you for watching. Bye now.